What's going on, guys? It's TheMightyDart13 back again, and this is my video for the Chinese Grand Prix. So obviously, we have the Azerbaijan Grand Prix coming up this weekend in Baku. Don't know whether it's live or not. But before the race had even started, we had some issues in practice with Daniel Ricciardo blowing an engine. So the Red Bull mechanics were unsure whether he was actually going to make the race or not. But make qualifying or not, but they did. They managed to get him out just in time to set a lap. And the funniest part was as he came out of the pits, or out of his pit box to get into the pit lane, he kicked the rear end of the car out as he was going into the actual pit lane. So good goal, good goal. So cool bit of driving there from Ricciardo. And also it came down to the Mercs. Again, we're off the pace with Ferrari. It's only 3 races in, but you have to say it's not looking great for Mercedes at the moment. Lewis obviously starting 5th. Bottas started. But obviously it was quite a good thing. Race-wise, you had, obviously you should have watched the highlights by now, but your race winner was Ricciardo winning, Valtteri Bottas 3rd, and Kimi Räikkönen 2nd. Now, it was a fantastic piece of I'm trying to think what it's called. Yeah, pit stop. It was good tactics from Red Bull. The safety car came out and both Red Bulls dived into the pits. Obviously, Verstappen would have finished higher, but he ended up colliding with Vettel. But obviously, at the start, Lewis didn't have the best start and actually apologised to the team for being overtaken by Raikkonen. And I think it was Jolyon Palmer who came out after the race and said that Hamilton isn't driving as naturally as he normally does. He's driving with a lot of regret and a lot of anger. Which is not surprising. He's a world champion. He's the current reigning world champion, and he's not been as good as on the paces last year. I don't know if it's car characteristics or whether that's just Lewis. But then, obviously, the next issue was you had the 2 Toro Rossos come together, for which Pierre Gasly was penalised. Now, watching the thing, I would lean to more say it was Gasly's fault. Overall, I mean, it ended up that Hartley retired on lap 51, which is a shame. I do like Hartley. I mean, a few people question why he's in F1 when, there's drivers such as, say, Jean-Eric Vergne who are possibly more deserving. But obviously you had Hamilton, as I've said, Hamilton versus Verstappen, there was contact. And from the looks of things, Verstappen kind of threw it up the inside. And there was just contact. Oh, no, sorry. Verstappen went up the inside. Lewis sort of opened his steering out while Verstappen was on the inside, causing Verstappen to sort of swerve off and go onto the grass. And he rejoined. As for the Vettel and the Verstappen contact, Vettel turned in very late to the corner. Verstappen dived up the inside, which caused a crash. Obviously, Verstappen's gone into the side of Vettel, and they've both ended up backwards. And Verstappen was given a time penalty. I personally think that was the right decision. And this sparked quite a bit of debate on whether Verstappen's actually as good a driver as, say, the thing. And I can't remember who said it, but someone came out and said, look at these guys. All the drivers, young drivers, had incidents. I mean, Lewis Hamilton had a fair few accidents. I mean, in his first season, he crashed a few times. I think it was the season he won his championship, I believe, at Canada. He ran into the back of Kimi Räikkönen in the pit lane. Vettel had 2010, he had plenty of crashes, and the one that sticks in my mind is Belgium, where Vettel crashed into the side of Jenson Button. No driver. I think Verstappen is an immense talent, personally, I hope that he does kind of not calm down, but kind of, because those kind of late breaking moves are what makes Verstappen. But you know, you do wonder, is he ever going to be a world champion if he does stuff like that? And also, after the race, it was sort of Christian Horner came out and said that Ricciardo, just because Red Bull have won a race with Ricciardo, doesn't mean he's going to resign. For those who don't know, Ricciardo's contract is out at the end of the year. Now, it's not something I've really mentioned, but I personally think he will go to Mercedes. I think he'll get annoyed. Obviously, Mercedes will need to step it up. But to be fair, Ricciardo isn't happy at Red Bull. You can see it, you know, like last season he was getting beaten by Verstappen. And you can almost say that he wants a way out. You know, look at... And with Bottas, the difference is I think when Lewis has had a good... or a world-class driver with him, so say Rosberg, JB... You know, he was always pushed to be the best. But I think with Bottas, while he's a good driver, he's never going to be a world champion. He's not got that killer thing. And you go back to Bahrain. Where if Bottas had just thrown it up the inside of Vettel and just maybe made Vettel think and made Vettel drive out wide, then he could have won the race. But you look at Ricciardo goes for these mad overtakes. You know, Ricciardo, I think, would suit Mercedes. As for Bottas, to be fair, Red Bull might be a good shot for him. He'd be a good number 2 driver for Verstappen. But overall, my prediction for the next race is going to be a Mercedes 1-2, but I think it will be... No, I think Hamilton will win, Bottas second. I'm going to go for Ricciardo third. I think both Ferraris are going to run into trouble. As for your pole sitter, I'm going to go Sebastian Vettel. But as for this race, I would rate it a 6. It was a good race. I'm glad Ricciardo won. I do like him as a driver. He's a fantastic driver. Red Bull are probably one of my favourite teams at the moment, just because I love the livery of their car. And I love Ricciardo and Verstappen. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. As for football vlogs, Saturday is going to be bloody stressful, because those who don't know, Dartford are in a league title clash. I don't know how you wouldn't know if you watch my football vlogs. But Dartford are in a title clash. Havant and Waterlooville are playing tonight against East Thurrock. If they win by, I think it's a 3-goal margin, they go top. If East Thurrock somehow manage to hold on and draw, we stay top. East Thurrock, I'd like to add, got smacked 4-0 by Wildston, so we're not holding out much hope. But very quickly, all the best to East Thurrock tonight. I hope you do Dartford boys proud. This is actually going out on the Wednesday. Double check what day it is, because I have no idea. Wednesday. So yeah, my score prediction for that, I'm going to go controversial. I'm going to go 1-0. I'm going to say East Thurrock to equalise in the 90th minute. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Saturday, football vlog. Sunday obviously is the race. So sometime in the next couple of weeks, or before the next race weekend after Baku, the F1 video will be out. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Come on, East Thurrock, and I'll see you in the next one.